If your herbs are getting chewed up, wilted, or overrun by bugs, don't reach for the pesticide just yet. I used to have that problem as well. I'd grow basil, parsley, mint, and they'd get eaten alive or struggle to thrive. Then I learned a trick from a gardener that changed everything, planting spring onions around the herbs. And let me tell you, it worked so well. I'll never grow herbs without them again. Stick around because I'll show you exactly why it works, how to plant them, and what happened the first time we tried it. So why do herbs need a companion like spring onion? And most people don't realize herbs are very delicate and their soft leaves attract aphids, thrips, spider mites, and even rabbits or snails. But spring onion, they naturally repel pests with their strong sulfur smell. And when I started planting onions around my basil and coriander, I started noticing something wild. The bugs just avoided them. It was like I put an invisible shield around the herb batch. So what are the benefits of planting spring onions around herbs? Here's what spring onions do. When you grow them near your herbs, they act as a natural pest repellent. They keep bugs away without sprays. They also help to protect the roots. They deter nematodes and soil-borne pests as well. And it doesn't compete for nutrients because onions have shallow roots. And they also offer space saving, and they're edible as well, so you can harvest the greens without hurting your herbs. And lastly, they improve airflow because their tall, narrow shape promotes circulation in the bed. And let's be honest, who doesn't love harvesting both herbs and green onions from the same spot? So how do you plant them together? Here's a step-by-step on how we set up the herb onion bed. So you choose your herbs. So I chose to grow basil, parsley, coriander, as well as mint and thyme in one location. Usually I opt to do it on a raised bed, but in this case, video was taken back in Finland where we had a very small backyard in our small townhouse. Next, you would leave 10 to 15 centimeters of spacing between each herb. And you would also plant spring onion sets or even seedlings along the perimeter or in between the herbs. We chose to do it around the border. It also looks really nice as well and acts like as a protection shield. It was quite enjoyable to do. And then you water thoroughly and mulch lightly if you want. We didn't do the mulch here. We just watered thoroughly. And then you harvest the onion greens as needed because they grow really, really fast and they continue on regrowing. And we planted the onions around the outside of the basil clusters, just like for a protective fence. Not only does it look beautiful, but I haven't seen any aphids or any insects on the herbs in months. So here's what happened when I didn't do this. And before I started companion planting, I had basil leaves that were full of holes. It was always a struggle to plant basil, especially on the ground. I also had mint leaves with powdery mildew, and I just used to always wonder. People say mint is one of the easiest plants to plant, but I was always struggling with that. And I also had aphids all over my coriander. I could barely harvest my coriander and I had to get rid of all of it. It was really frustrating to deal with, and I even thought I was doing something wrong. I was like, you know what, this is not working, I might as well give up. And then I tried planting green onions on the border and everything started to change. Now, it wasn't magic, it was nature doing its thing and doing what it does best when we plant things that work together and they work like a team. So if you are planting onions or herbs this season, don't miss out on this opportunity to both protect and strengthen your garden naturally. Spring onions are more than just for garnish. They're garden guardians as well. Now, have you ever tried companion planting with herbs? What combinations have worked best for you? Let me know in the comment section below and like this video if it has helped or if you learned anything new. Subscribe also for more gardening tips and tricks as we learn them along the way. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.